Hey, Tom from Tom's Toons. I'm here with our next project in line. This is a 2011 Avalon. It's a nice boat. It's 8.5 foot wide. It's almost 20 feet, just shy, but it's a fishing style boat. These folks bought it, and the first thing they did is took out the fishing seats in front. They just didn't use them, didn't fit their use. But we'll look at the layout inside and we'll talk about how we're gonna change it. But you can see the decals on the railings are peeling just from sitting in the sun. They peeled them off. It looks like some of them were cracked and whatnot, but it's a pretty cool boat. Big pontoons, like I said, 8.5 wide, modern that way. Let's look inside and talk about what we're gonna do on the inside of the boat. On the inside here, these are, they're fairly modern style railings, but what we have are these compartments. These hide the lights and whatnot in the front. We're going with all new railings on this boat. We're gonna go from this beige color to black railings. We're gonna do gray with the charcoal diamond inlay luxury seats, a new helm, new configuration of seating, meaning all cruising style. This is gonna go from a fishing boat into a modern cruising style pontoon. We'll do a new helm, captain's chair. This will still be a stern entry walkthrough. This boat came to us from Kentucky, and I swear, the farther south the boats come from, the scarier spiders we got on the boats. Maybe this will be the one that makes me into Spider-Man, I don't know. But they reupholstered their own sun deck cushions a few years back just to get by. We're gonna do a sun deck cushion, the one that's gonna allow for stern entry, a new ladder and back. This has a 60 horsepower motor on it, but we're gonna max this out at 90 horsepower with a brand new 90 horse Mercury. And they live on a lake that's got a bridge that goes right across the middle of it, and it kind of separates them from the bigger part of the lake. And they got tired of putting the Bimini up and down just to go to the big part of the lake. Power Bimini, that's the solution. They're gonna be able to just flip a switch on the dash, put the Bimini down, go under the bridge, put it back up, stay out of the sun, and enjoy their day on the water. So again, bells and whistles on this boat. It's getting them all. Let's get to work on it. We gotta tear this thing down to the bare bones, rebuild it with new deck, new vinyl flooring, out with the old carpet that's worn down. It's time. Let's go.
Marty, what's your guess?
250.
You're sticking with it?
I'm sticking with it. 251.8.
251.8.
324.7.
324.7.
Guess.
Mine is going to be 284.6.
And here's what we're guessing is the hours on this 2011 60 horse motor. The beauty of this motor, we'll show you where we're gonna have to switch phones, is this motor can run on Vessel View, which is an app, a mobile app on your phone, or you could have an iPad on your dash if you wanted to. But if you come around here, it's a simple attachment. I just have one in the shop at all times so I can check hours on motors. This motor is getting traded in towards the brand new 90 horse, which will be getting Vessel View. But this is all it is, and when we turn the key on, it powers up this Vessel View mobile, and the Bluetooth connects to my phone and it pulls up. So we're going to switch phones so that we can look at the app on my phone and find out who is closest. The owner had no idea. They bought the boat used. They were told it was very lightly used, and they haven't used it a ton.
Oh no, I didn't know that information.
It's irrelevant. Everyone says I barely used it until you can check the hours.
That's the app?
Yep, that's the app right there. Scanning for devices.
If you touch them together,
it goes faster. Look how much faster it's going. Oh, maintenance is due. Okay, here we go. What was your guess?
My guess was 284.6.
281.2.
Come on!
But I'm over. Does that count?
Yeah, I was closest.
Okay.
Right, you go over and
Then it doesn't count.
No,
That's
this isn't prices. Price is wrong.
all right. That's
Party.
a margarita.
Corey just pointed something out on this boat. This is something we do often. This is cheated over about 1/8 of an inch, because if you square up this back board right where it needs to be with the back and with that first cross member, if you make it right on half, the halfway point of this seam cross member, then everything should be square. But sometimes as you start going forward, things walk a little bit, and apparently even at the factory, because this is factory job here, this is over about 1/8 of an inch. They did it again on this one, and then this last one is flush. So if we go to the other side, it's going to be walking the opposite. So they shift everything over to keep it square by the time you get to the front of the boat. Something that we do all the time. It's just a necessity. And by the time you put the vinyl on and the deck trim, it's all covered up and you're square and everything will be good. So if you wondered when you're in your project, that is common even at Avalon's factory. We just finished up this 2011. This is about a 20-foot Avalon. It was a fishing cruise kind of layout. Now it's all cruise. We maxed out the horsepower, got rid of the old 60, put a new 90 on. The big thing on this boat that makes it look totally different, there's two parts. The brand new railing kit. This is the 8.5 foot wide with a stern entry in the metallic black. But then we went ahead and took new deck trim and corner caps and we blacked those out with powder coat, took them to a local powder coat place and made everything match, prettied it way up. Let's take a look around the boat first, then we'll hop inside. This boat literally got every option. I don't think we left anything off on this thing. Every option possible. Come on. With these kits, they're kind of like a modular kit. I can use this accent panel wherever I want it. I can space panels between. I can change up the layout however I want to make it work, where the doors go, where my seats go. We've got new fuel fitting, new fill and vent. Reuse their old fuel tank. So depending on the size of your tank, this one pretty much maxed out the size that it would handle, but that's doable, especially on the 8.5 foot kit. On the backside here, underneath, we've got space that's covered out of the elements for batteries. So we have battery boxes. Something really cool that we did on this boat. I'm really happy how it turned out. We ran our batteries, the connections, into a switch under the back bench seat. I think that's going to be really nice. The switch is out of the elements. We don't have to try to reach around to find a switch back here. It's all right there. Brand new giant powerhouse on this. This is a 90 horsepower Mercury command thrust. I believe this is a 15 or 16 inch prop. It's the same gear case as the 150 horse. So we get a ton more torque. We can use move a ton more water. Really a great option to go to a high thrust style motor if you're repowering. Coming around this side, we have the heavy duty telescoping ladder. So this drops way down. Easy to access. Plenty of room. If you're swimming, grab onto the ladder. It's nice and deep in the water. Makes it easy for everybody to climb out. And then a quick and easy stows away for travel or when you're out on the water. We did stainless cleats from Pontoon stuff all the way around. And actually, if we look back, there's a cool cleat item over here. We've done this on a couple boats now. We run right where these two panels meet, is really secure. And with this boat packed with furniture, this is a quick, easy way to grab a dock line and clip it on this U-bolt instead of having to try to reach all the way down and connect here. It's something, if you don't want to jump off the boat to clip in place, you can absolutely use something like this in the railings, really beefy, reinforced. And again, it's at a point in the railing system where I'm not afraid of that causing any trouble over time. While we're back here, we might as well climb on up. This is that stern entry door on a lift hinge as well. Opens wide open into the boat. And we can walk right in. So we took out the front fishing seats in this boat, stuck with an L couch in the back, did a triangle table, that way we can flow right through here, nothing restricting. We do have our fuel system in here, if you ever need access to that, with a water fuel separator. Brand new motor, we're gonna make sure that that fuel is good. We're not getting any moisture in over time. Just once a year, you swap out that filter and you're good to go. This pad, just a nice layout pad across. This one hinges inward in case your motor were to hit it. This motor has clearance, we're good there. And as I mentioned a minute ago, this is where we're able to do our battery switch. So down inside here, it's a 4-position switch. We can turn everything off. Now there's no power whatsoever going to the motor or the accessories. I can run it on just my starting battery. I can run it on both batteries in parallel, so I'm pulling and pushing charge, pulling power and pushing charge to both batteries. Or if I'm sitting at the beach and I'm jamming out some music, got my lights on, whatever, I can run it only on the deep cycle battery and not have to worry about draining my starting battery. That way, when it's time to go back to the dock or the boat launch, I can put on all or one and have it start right up for me. At the captain's helm station, reclining helm chair. We can sit back, this slides forward and back, a lot of options. A huge upgrade on this boat. It was a must-have. I told you, this boat got everything possible. Baystar hydraulic steering, so it's a C-Star system. This is gonna be effortless steering for the customer. They used to have to fight their steering all the time. This, there's no question about it. It's going to be effortless. Brand new controls and able to reuse their key switch and harness from their old motor, but we did a custom gauge panel for them using the gauge blank on the large helm. We just tied in the gauges that they want, and they already had a fish finder, so we're able to reintegrate that. Carbon fiber switch panel. We've got, again, all the bells and whistles, navigation lights, our horn. We've got chargers, and we just push that button on the side to turn it on. That's a USB-C and USB, both of those. We have our docking lights up front. We have interior LEDs. And if you peek over the side of the boat, we have those exterior LEDs as well, all from pontoonstuff.com. We've got a Bluetooth stereo over here. I always forget. When I turn the stereo on and it connects to my phone, the video cuts out. I gotta remember that. But we were able to put the fish finder on a switch as well. Something that's a good option for you. That way, when all of these switches are off, the key is off, all of our dash lights are off, all of our accessories are off. Glove box for storage, something great to have. I think every boat should have a glove box. That's it for the helm. Up front, with this new black railing kit right now, you're gonna have 30-inch corners, which gives you a 30-inch corner seat. Very comfortable, you can kick back, relax. If the lean back seat is more of your style, you've got a lean back lounger here with a ton of storage inside. We've got a whole bunch of seat covers in here. This boat got custom seat covers by our seamstress right here in house. Lastly, the new vinyl and plywood kit from pontoonstuff.com. Easy, just rinse it off if it gets dirty, clay on it, fish slime, anything, rinse it off. Or if it's got dirt and sand on it, let it dry and then sweep it or blow it off with a leaf blower. That is Oh, you know what? We forgot one thing.
Power Bimini.
Forgot the Power Bimini. If you didn't believe me when I said this boat has every option possible, this has the Power Bimini, also available at pontoonstuff.com. Listen, we've had a number of customers tell us about how they don't go into certain parts of their lake, or they don't go to certain lakes at all because they don't like messing with their Bimini and fighting to get it up and down, in and out of places with bridges. This boat is no exception. This boat's home lake has two parts separated by a bridge. Now, as they're coming up to the bridge, drop it back, go into the main part of the lake, and then you just pop it right back up and get your shade covered again. This is a game changer. It's a really cool option. Every time we install one, I fall in love with them a little more.
And you only need one finger.
One person, one finger on the switch to do it. That's a good point. That's it. This boat is heading back in a few days all the way from Grand Rapids, Michigan. It's over here down to Kentucky. I think it's got an 8 or 10 hour drive.
Ride.
Ride.
Yeah.
Ride ahead. So we're gonna get
And
it.
because of that, they also got a transom saver.
Good call. Long toes, put a transom saver on that thing. We're all done here. Thank you for watching. Don't forget we have coupon codes for pontoonstuff.com and some of our other supporters of the channel. Check those in the description of this video. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.
Which is that one?
Yeah. It never stops.